Welcome back. We're going to do a gas installation this weekend. So it should be a fairly straightforward one. I'll just show you the equipment that we've got. So I'm struggling for space in here. I'm sat underneath the bed at the moment in the cargo area. So just behind the water tank in this corner here, we're going to build a gas box in there. So we've got the gas bottle. I've gone with butane. I know a lot of people are using propane these days, and especially if you're living in your van or if you're doing winter camping, then it's probably a good idea. But for me, first of all, the gas is going to be inside here in the actual cargo area, so it's not going to drop below freezing, certainly when I'm in it. I'm not living in the van, and I don't plan to be doing lots of middle of winter camping anyway. So the advantage of butane is that the storage pressure is a lot less, so it's more suitable for storing inside the van than the propane. So I've gone for butane at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I can always buy an adapter and switch over to propane should I need to do that if ever I went anywhere where it was cold enough. But we've got a wall mounted regulator, so that's going to fit about there, I reckon. And then we've got a pigtail, so that end fastens onto the regulator, and then this end we've got the butane snap-on adapter, so that snaps onto the top of the butane bottle. And of course, if you wanted to go to propane, you'd have to buy a different pigtail with a screw fitting for a propane bottle. These adapters, they're not massively expensive. It's a stainless steel one. This, I think they're about 40 quid, something like that. The adapter's about 13 quid. This regulator will do for either butane or propane, so that doesn't have to change. And then we've got a little manifold here, just a three-way. It's not going to be a complicated gas system. We've got basically, we're going to have one line running up to the cabin area, to the hob, and then the second line will run across the top of the water tank, same as the first one, but then it'll drop down there, drop down through that area there where the electrics and the water cables are. That's going to be boxed in later on, but it'll run through there, round to the front of the wheel arch, and then it'll run through the shower room and into that cupboard at the front there, that seat unit at the front there, and that's where the water heater is. And it's a gas stroke mains water heater. So we've got two lines basically, and then I will probably put a third line running just along the back there, just to that internal wall there, and we'll have an external barbecue gas point. And if I want to do any external barbecuing, we can just have this back door open and have a little adapter on the back here, on the back of this cabinet, without having to put a hole in the van. So that's going to be it. So I've already drilled a couple of holes. These holes are for the pipe. We've got some 8mm soft copper piping, 10 metres there. Little pipe bender, a few fittings. So we're going to run through those holes, across the top of the water tank there, and then where that junction box is, you might be able to see there's a little hole there. We're going to run through there, which is through the bulkhead, and then you can see the hole there. We're going to come out of there, along the back, underneath the sink and the hob unit, and then we're going to go through that little hole there, loop round, and the gas fitting is just there. So that's the first one. And then the second one, as I say, is gonna drop down through here, across there. Into the back of the shower unit, which still needs to be finished. Along there, through there, and that's going to bring us out under this bench, and then that's the water heater there, the whale water heater, and there's the gas fitting. So hopefully it should be straightforward. We'll see how we get on. So we've got the first line running. So shine the torch so it's a bit dark in here. So that's going up there across the top of the water tank. Down there. Just comes out there on the back of the sink. Excuse me, falling over. Through that hole there, and then it just loops round here, and it's then it's gonna mate up to that fitting there. So before we cut the other end off, I've got some of those P-clips. I'm gonna go round and secure it all various points along the way, because the last thing you want is that copper pipe bouncing about and bending, because it does tend to work hard and does copper. So before we cut this end off here, we'll get it all secured up, and we'll get the P-clips in, and then there's no bending, no flexing, don't want any leaks. So what we're doing here is, I'm inside the shower room and I'm feeding through a hole there into the garage area, and then the other end up we're going to feed through that hole, which comes out behind that post there. So it's a real struggle, because I can only shove it through about 4 or 6 inches at a time from that end, and I'm having to go backwards and forwards into here. It's coming out under there, and I'm bending it through this area and across here, under there, and then we're coming out through there, and we're heading over there. So it's slow progress, and then once it's through, I'll tidy this area up. Obviously we'll clip that back to the wood. We'll try and put a little bit of a bend in that end there to bring it a bit closer. So a real nightmare, but we'll get there in the end. Right, we're through. What a nightmare. So where we are, we're through. We've got quite a bit of spare. We'll sort that out in a minute. And then we're into here to tidy this up. Straighten it all back, pin it up to this wall, this edge here. Bit of tidied up job. That's through, and we're through the hole at the end there. We just need to pull it through, pin it back, and straighten it all out. Okay, I'm going to call it a day for today now. We've got that pipe in. Need a good hoover up. Well, that'll do. That'll wait till tomorrow. That pipe's coming through there now. So that just needs cutting back, fastening to the heater. So in here, I'll just step through. So, still need to tidy up. We've got the pipe coming up there, clipped back, not the neatest job in the world, but nobody will ever see it apart from me. Out the other side, ready for fastening to the manifold block, and then down at the bottom there, as I say, this is going to be boxed in eventually, so it's clipped there and then clipped across. And just round there, we don't want too sharp a bend in there because it goes, shed a bit of light, it goes under there and through that. You can't see it, just see it there going through. Don't want too big a bend. As I say, it's out of the way, nobody will ever see it. So next job is to connect the ends up and then do some leak testing and then give it a go. So we'll finish off tomorrow, hopefully. So it's the next day, so I've finished off now. We've got the two feed pipes through there, gas manifold mounted, regulator, and then the pigtail. So all I need to do now basically is build a gas box into that corner and seal it up, put some straps in to strap the tank. But I've tested the system this morning and there's no leaks. We had a very tiny leak from the water heater, but just another eighth of a turn, just nipped up the olive, sorted it out. So basically we've got the pigtail here. Oops, trying to do it one-handed. So that's off, as you can see. Green's off. Green's off. Red is on. Even though you might think it should be the other way around. Just click that on. So I've got the pigtail fitted now. That's in the off position, even though you'd think green would be on. Just get to focus there. Can't do it. That's off. And then red is on. You just heard it there, just ignite just to fill up the regulator. So these lines they're both turned on. So the system's okay now. So basically, as I said yesterday, it's all clipped back. That pipe there, by the way, that spare pipe, that's going to be out of this third manifold here. That's going to run along the top there to that back edge. We'll just get to the sink, to the hob. So I'll try and do it with one hand. A bit awkward. There you go. Oops. So we've got gas. Might make a cup of tea now. We've checked it all out. Did a leak test earlier on. It's all connected up, is that now? In fact, it's not so easy to see from under here. You can just about see the connection there. Might be able to see it better from in here. Yeah, see the connection there. Test it all out. And here. Now I did have a very slight leak from there, but just another eighth of a turn, and that's nipped it up. So I'll probably fit a gas detector at some point, but I've tested it anyway, so I'm confident it's all okay. And that's all one line there, right back. So there's, you know, if you start putting joints in everywhere. So basically, job's complete.